so much for your patience. Welcome back to the channel. Listen, it's late, y'all, but I wanted to make sure I did come on and talk to you all about tonight's topic. Listen, as always, thank you so much for your support. I'm gonna wait maybe about 5 minutes. That'll give everyone a chance to be notified before I start discussing tonight's topic. Okay, you all, please let me know that you can hear me. You won't be able to see me. This is an audio only live. And so you'll be able to hear me but not see me. Will you all please give this video a thumbs up? You all please let me know that you can hear me. You won't be able to see me. This is an audio only live. And so you'll be able to hear me but not see me. Will you all please give this video a thumbs up? You all please let me know that you can hear me. You won't be able to see me. This is an audio only live. And so hold on, y'all. Okay, can you all hear me now?
You're really making all of this.
Play a little bit of music, y'all. Hold on.
Avocados are hand mashed, the chips are hand tossed, and everything is made fresh.
You make it fresh every day?
Yes, every day. The Chipotle way.
It's just an ad playing.
Every day.
Sounds delicious.
All right, hey y'all, welcome. Thank you all so much for staying up and again. We'll get started shortly, okay? I'm giving everyone a chance to join. I know there are many people that may listen to the replay, and that's fine. Thank you all so much for staying up. I appreciate you all. Please like this video. That will let me know you can hear me. And I do want to invite you to subscribe to the channel if you haven't already subscribed. Okay, thank you all so much. Thank you. Okay. All right, listen, y'all. I'm gonna go ahead and get started. I don't want to keep you too long. You all have, for those of you all who follow the channel, again, thank you all so much, by the way, for your support. You know that I have mentioned, I brought to your attention what's happening. Is there an echo, y'all? Please let me know if there's an echo. You know, I brought to your attention what's happening in China now. According to my sources, okay, there is allegedly a surge of children that have been hospitalized in China for what they're saying are respiratory illnesses. Okay, the World Health Organization spoke out, actually, allegedly asking questions of China about what was going on. It's kind of hard based on, the research I've done and what other reports have said as well. It seems like it's difficult to get news out of China. I don't know if it has something to do with their government, how much control they have over the media, but it's hard. Like, even if you try to do an internet search, sometimes it's hard to find what one would consider to be accurate information coming out of China. A lot of times accurate or, information coming out of China is what I'm saying. Listen, y'all, I want to talk to you about what's currently happening, okay? U.S. health officials push back on the idea of a new thing, or this new thing in China, okay? According to sources, okay, a small group of Republican senators this past Friday called on President and travel from China to protect against what they're calling an outbreak of respiratory illnesses in children there, even as scientists and global and American health officials said there were no signs of a threatening new pathogen. Now, I have a question about this, y'all. Why does it seem like every time something happened, right? Why does it seem like it come out of China? Have y'all noticed a pattern here? Think back to what 3 years ago, almost going on 4 years ago, right? With the thing that came out this that started the pandemic. It started in China. Okay, fast forward, here we are, three almost going into 4 years later, and allegedly here is something else that is starting where out of China. Okay, I have some questions about that. What's going on? Why does it seem like every time there's some type of major thing, worldwide thing, why is it coming out of China? Okay, or we're being told it's coming out of China. That's a question I have. You, what do you all? How do you all feel about that? Okay, now also according to my report, y'all, they're saying that experts. Instead, they're saying those experts said the evidence so far pointed to a surge of age-old, what they call an age-old infectious agents such as influenza, driven by the colder weather and China's emergence from stringent C-word lockdowns. Y'all know exactly what I'm talking about, okay? Now, the World Health Organization said last week that China had shared data, and this is what I was saying, y'all. They were actually calling on China to share data. The World Health Organization said last week that China had shared data about its outbreak, including laboratory results from infected children that did not show any unusual pathogens. Okay, this is what they want us to believe, y'all. Now, Dr. Mandy Cohen, who is the director of the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, she echoed that assessment, according to my sources on Friday. She said American officials had also been in touch with Chinese authorities, academic experts, and health workers. Okay, here's a quote by Dr. Cohen that reads, and I quote, "What we have all been able to ascertain is that there is no novel pathogen," she said. "This is all related to upticks of known viruses," they're saying, "and bacteria in their pediatric population." Okay, what are your thoughts on that? Now, a lot of people are wondering. Now, you may say, "Okay, Andrea, this is happening over in China. Why should we be concerned?" Okay, again, y'all, this is world news. I want us to look at it from the viewpoint of, not that I'm trying to scare you, but I want you to look at it as if to say, okay, well, if it's happening over there, what's to say that they won't try anything like that over here? Okay. Listen, the World Health Organization said that the data China did share last week showed what they're calling a rise in the number of children hospitalized with cold and flu viruses and respiratory syn. Oh Lord, let me see what this word is, y'all. Respiratory syncytial virus. Okay, that word is SYNCYTIAL. If you want to do your research, um, or okay, this is what they're saying, y'all. RSV. Okay, that's what RSV stands for. Since October, they're saying the agency also said that infections with mycoplasma pneumonia, that looks like, okay, a bacterium that generally causes mild illness, had been climbing since May. Okay, those illnesses, together with that C word, accounted for what they're saying are a surge of respiratory disease in children, said the Chinese health officials who announced the rise in cases at a news conference in mid-November. Okay, think back. I just told y'all 2 different months, right? Or 3 different months. Something happened in, well, actually, what did I say? 2 different months. Something happened allegedly going back as far as October, and then even earlier that in the month of May. Okay. Um, those, okay, I just read that. Now, parents, they're saying, have described waits of 8 hours or more at children's hospitals. Okay. Now, I will say, maybe about a month ago or so, I actually had to take my child to the urgent care for it was a non-respiratory issue. She actually had what we thought at the time may have been a slight ankle injury. She's fine and everything, but looking around at the urgent care, there were a lot of children there, for different reasons. But the wait time for was probably maybe about an hour. We walked in. They do the check-in process. Then they sit you down, they call you, and then you do the paperwork process, and then they may take you in or take the child in to get weighed, temperature and all that. Then they send you back out to wait. So I can say, just being a parent and having recently gone to the children's urgent care, specifically for children, I have seen, to me, it appeared that there were more children than usual there. They're wearing masks. They did ask everyone to wear masks. Um, and so, there did seem to be, in my opinion, more children there. Okay. Whether they were there for this condition or not, there were more parents there with their children. Okay. Let me know if you're seeing the same thing in your particular area. Now, they're also saying that some of the same pathogens are already on the rise in the United States as winter takes hold. There does seem to be some reports of people here in the United States being diagnosed with this RSV. I pray that they're well and that they are healed. Now they're saying that okay, so and I'm reading from an article here, some of the same pathogens are already on the rise in the United States as winter takes hold, experts said. And also, there seems to be a concern that some of these cases may come from China, okay? They're also saying that this mycoplasma pneumonia, which the article says sickens millions of Americans every year, tends to cause an increase in infections every 3 to 7 years for reasons that are not well understood, okay? Dr. William Schaffner, who is a professor of infectious diseases at the Vanderbilt University School of Medicine, had this to say, and I quote, "There isn't a place in the world that doesn't have mycoplasma, that doesn't have rhinovirus and influenza virus," okay? He also continued by saying, and I quote, "There are the normal respiratory viruses and germs that we encounter as we normally grow up," okay? You may want to know, why is there all of a sudden a surge? According to my sources, as countries have lifted these lockdowns in recent years, they have tended to experience surges of routine respiratory illnesses in children. Another question I want to ask y'all, do you believe with all of this going on, okay, some of you have even indicated that it seems like, okay, it could be a repeat of what, we all experienced 3 years ago. I want to know your thoughts. Do you think that with all of this going on, right? Even they even talked about there being, and I see the article reference is this, in the winter dealing with a triple demic, okay? Triple demic, meaning they're dealing with the C word, they're dealing with the flu and RSV cases all at the same time, okay? Not only that, but it's putting a strain on our hospitals, our different medical facilities at a time when, several, there have been hospitals that have shut down. There may be some communities who have to travel 30 minutes to an hour to access medical care. So all of these things, seem like are creating what one could consider a crisis in the healthcare system. Let's see. There are also scientists are also attributing the outbreaks to children's immune systems being behind schedule. They're saying after years of lost learning about how to fight off everyday viruses during lockdown. Now, I haven't heard this, y'all. I'm gonna repeat this again. Scientists, listen to this, y'all. They're saying, they're wanting us to believe. Hello, everyone tuning in. Listen, thank you so much for staying up. I truly appreciate you all. Okay, I'm coming on later than expected. But I am here, I'm settled, and I'm so thankful that you chose to stay up and tune in. Okay, what time is it on the East Coast here? It's 11:35 p.m. It may be a little bit earlier or later, depending on where you are, but I want to say thank you so much for your support. Okay. Excuse me. I'm going to read this sentence again. Scientists, they're saying, are attributing those outbreaks to children's immune systems. So they're saying that due to what the article refers to as years of lost learning that children's immune systems are now behind schedule. Okay, um, meaning, okay, they're also they were kept from schools and daycare centers, and that they were sheltered from pathogens that would otherwise have infected them sooner. Now, what do you all think about that? Do you all think there's some truth to that? Do you think they're just trying to come up with any and every little thing? They're saying that the reason why scientists, okay, are saying that, one major reason why children are getting sick, okay, is because due to years of lost learning, all right, children's immune systems got behind schedule. Okay, I wasn't expecting to hear that. That's something to think about. How do you all feel about that? Okay, kept from schools and daycare centers, the article says they were sheltered from pathogens that would otherwise have infected them sooner. Okay, then Dr. Schaffner also said when they all got together, um, he's saying that, woo, I quote, the viruses had a field day. Okay, children in China, the article says, were especially vulnerable because of the length and severity of lockdowns there. Scientists said potentially creating a more substantial post lockdown boom in routine infections. Thank you all so much to everyone watching. Please like this video, share, share, share. I'm sharing some very important information, y'all. Okay, so they're saying now that children, okay, due to the pandemic, virtual learning, okay, that, children's immune systems are behind, um, because they were kept from daycare centers, that they were not exposed to pathogens, um, that will otherwise have infected them sooner. Okay, what do you all think about that? I haven't heard, not lockdowns, but I haven't heard virtual learning in school, okay, being possible causes of why so many children are getting sick. Do you believe there's any truth to that? Now, scientists have also reported elevated rates of resistance to mycoplasma pneumonia antibiotics in China, a problem that could sharpen the severity of outbreaks, and that World Health Organization officials said they were trying to learn more about. Okay. In the U.S., I told you all that I read some reports of people getting sick. Now, the question is the United States having any unusual outbreaks? One county, the article says, in Ohio this week reported, and I quote, an extremely high number of pediatric pneumonia cases, including some caused by cold viruses or the mycoplasma pneumonia. Okay, the article says, health officials there said that they did not believe that a new respiratory disease was responsible or that there was any link with outbreaks abroad. Okay. Now, Ohio has not reported any losses of life as part of its pediatric outbreak. Most children, they're saying, are receiving treatment and recovering at home. Okay. Dr. Cohen, who again is the CDC director, also stated, and I quote, hospital capacity is fine. Children are recovering at home. These are pathogens that are known to us. Okay. So what do you all feel? They're telling us one thing. It almost seems like they don't want people to panic. They're saying, hey, even though this is something new, that, it may appear to be new, it may be new headline news. They're wanting us to believe and feel comfortable with the fact that they're saying, hey, this is something that this is something that they're familiar with, they know of it, okay? Now, of course, they're going to promote getting the thing in the arm, okay? I'm not even going to talk about that because I'm not here to try to persuade you to do one thing or another, okay? So, their first response to what should Americans do is to get the thing. Now, I'm not here to tell you that. I actually would never tell you that, but that is what they're now using as a way to say, hey, this is what you need to do, okay? And that's pretty much it. The travel ban, they're trying to get that instituted. The World Health Organization has also said travel restrictions were not warranted. And the article says that, meanwhile, American and global health officials said they would keep monitoring cases in China, which has faced intense scrutiny after covering up early cases of both the SARS virus in 2003 and the C word that started the pandemic. So you're also telling me, and y'all remember SARS when they first started talking about that? So you mean to tell me SARS came out of China too? So we got all these different diseases, sicknesses, illnesses, right? My question is, why do they keep happening? It seems like first occurring, allegedly. Why does it seem like it's first occurring in China? Okay, that's the question I have. So that's pretty much what I wanted to report it. That's pretty much what I wanted to report. There were a group of senators who wrote a letter to Washington, D.C., to our president. I want to just read some of it to you, but they're calling on a travel ban. Listen to what they're saying, y'all. This letter is dated December 1st, 2023, to President Joe Biden, okay? And the letter reads, Dear Mr. President, in light of an unknown respiratory illness spreading through the People's Republic of China, or the PRC, we call on you to immediately restrict travel between the United States and the PRC. As you know, the Chinese Communist Party, or the CCP, has a long history of lying about public health crises, okay? During the pandemic, they're saying the CCPs, or the Chinese Communist Party, I'll just say China because that's what we're talking about. Um, they're saying obfuscation of the truth and lack of transparency robbed what they're saying the United States of the vital knowledge about the disease and its origin. Okay. The letter also says that on January 30th, 2021, President Trump issued an order to restrict travel from the PRC into the United States to protect the American people and counter the spread of the C word. Okay, many officials and commentators, including you, they're saying, including President Biden, criticized this decision as being influenced by xenophobia, it says. But history and common sense, okay, this is what they're saying in this letter. But history and common sense show the decision was the right one, okay? At this moment, they're also saying in this letter, the world faces another pathogen emanating from the PRC that could spread to other countries, including the United States, okay? The PRC has reported an increase in this mystery illness, which it claims to be pneumonia caused by known pathogens since mid-October, okay? Here we are, y'all, going into mid-December, pretty soon. And they're talking about something that it seemed like first started back in October. Did they even tell us about it? Okay. Again, why did it seem like things keep happening in China? Okay. Um, you know, what really needs to be done to prepare? Okay. They're also saying this illness reportedly is a special hazard for children that has overrun hospitals in the north of the country. The World Health Organization says it is unclear if the disease is due to an overall increase in respiratory infections or separate events. If history is any indication, we have cause to be concerned, okay? And then the letter concludes by saying that the World Health Organization has requested that the CCP share, and I quote, detailed information about the mystery illness. However, the CCP has an incentive to lie, they're saying, just as they did throughout the pandemic, and any new pathogen could derail its efforts to stimulate its economy. Besides, the letter says, and I quote, we should not wait for the World Health Organization to take action given its track record of what they're referring to, y'all, as slavish deference to the CCP. Wow, okay, I need to look up and see what they meant by that. The letter also says that we must take the letter to President Joe Biden by some of the members of the U.S. Senate. They say, and I quote, we must take the necessary steps to protect the health of Americans and our economy. That means we should immediately restrict travel between the United States and the PRC until we know more about the dangers posed by this new illness, okay? And then the last sentence says, a ban on travel now could save our country from loss of life, lockdowns, mandates, and further outbreaks later, okay? Thank you for your attention to this important matter. Sincerely, we have Mark Rubio. These are the authors of the letter, the U.S. Senators. Mark Rubio, U.S. Senator. J.D. Vance. Rick Scott, U.S. Senator. J.D. Vance, U.S. Senator. Tommy Tuberville, U.S. Senator. And Mike Braun, U.S. Senator. Okay, so let me know your thoughts, y'all, based on everything. Do you feel like another lockdown is coming? Maybe sooner than we anticipated. Um, you know, what do we still need to do in order to get prepared? Okay, please make sure that you're stocking up on your emergency food supply, your survival needs. Okay, I have a website. If you say, well, I'm not sure where to get this from, or you're having a hard time, depending on what you're trying to get, you're having a hard time trying to find it. Um, you want to hold on just a minute, y'all. Okay, sorry about that. Make sure, as I'm saying, that you get your emergency food supply, your survival needs. Make sure you're adding water to your emergency food supply, survival needs. If there are things that you need and it's hard to find, you may want to check different places. Don't just rely on one place to get several things, because hey, if they're out or if they have restrictions on what you can or can't buy, it's good to have a couple other places in mind. Okay, so from you, again, y'all, well, let me say the questions that I'm asking. Questions that I'm asking is, why does it seem like all of these diseases, illnesses, sicknesses, whatever you want to call them, why do they keep somehow being linked to the start of them, being linked to China? What's really going on? Why are they now all of a sudden coming out saying that the reason why so many children are getting sick is because of the losses due to online learning? They had a sudden, unexpected forced lockdown that sent every student into virtual learning, and they're saying now that because the students were not in the school building all together around each other, that these pathogens that otherwise they would have been exposed to, they actually got exposed to it later, and that is why many what they're saying, students are getting sick now. So I want to know, are you buying into what they're saying? Do you think something else is going on? Please let me know your thoughts, okay? Listen, y'all, that's it for this video. Thank you so much for your support. Stay tuned to the channel. I'll be back with more news and commentary you can use right here on Andrea Speaks TV. Good night, y'all.